Hey guys, what's up? Welcome back here to today's edition of The Fishing Teacher. And man, I really appreciate you guys hanging out with me a little bit and watching the video. Really appreciate that. And guys, today we're going to be talking about fishing buzzbaits in the month of August. This is the time of year I start fishing buzzbaits again. August and September are some of the best months to fish a buzzbait in that really get overlooked by a lot of anglers. So I'm going to give you guys some tips and advice on what to look for, type of buzzbaits that work pretty good, and I think it's going to add up some quality fish for you guys over the next month or two. I'm also, guys, just a quick invitation here to like to invite everybody to hit that subscribe button here to The Fishing Teacher. If you hadn't done that, we're really working hard to try to get to 20,000 subscribers, so your help would be appreciated. And also, please check out our Fish the Moment lake map breakdowns we have in the description of this video. These are really good resources to learn more about your favorite lake. They're maps I built for Fish the Moment myself. You can learn more about your favorite lake or a lake you've never been on. I'll put the link in the description there also. I really appreciate it. Okay, guys, one of the things that has come about over the past, really it's been about the past 5 years this took off, is the advent of fishing a buzzbait and something like a whopper plopper in the month of August. Now, a lot of people don't associate fishing topwater in the hottest summer times of August. But guys, there's something, again, it's one of those mysterious things about bass that people can't really explain. A buzzbait is really good in the month of August. And I'm not talking about fishing it like early in the morning in the low light conditions. I'm talking about throwing a buzzbait all day long on 100-degree days. And that's what the point of the video that we're going to talk about. So anyway, one of the things that you're going to notice in bass fishing is throughout the season, as different months take place, bass really, they really prefer different sizes and different profiles of bait. So what you usually have is that like certain times of the year, certain baits produce better if they're larger based upon the bait fish size in the lake. Different times of the year it's smaller. And one of the paradoxes that exist in fishing is the month of August is traditionally known as a small bait month. It's like I always do better like on small spinner baits, on little finessey crankbaits, little small lipless crankbaits. If I'm pitching them flipping, I'm usually pitching some compact creature bait or a little finesse worm, something like that. But the exception to the rule is the buzzbait in the month of August. You want a large buzzer. Now, this is my favorite one, guys. This is the Megabass Jamaican Boa buzzbait. This is an awesome freaking large buzzbait. I'll put the link in the description if you guys would like to pick up one. But this is a 3/4 ounce buzzbait. It's got a really big blade on it. And it's got a hand-tied, wire-tied skirt on it that has a natural trailer. A lot of guys like the toad trailers, like a horny toad. I don't like them, guys. I prefer a skirt by far. I just think it looks better in the water. I got a lot more confidence. I got more color options. But what I do, this is my buzzbait that I throw in August. This is a white buzzer, 3/4 ounce Megabass Jamaican Boa. And I'm usually coupling it up on, I throw it on my flipping stick with 20-pound test Seaguar and Vizex line. Now, a lot of people don't throw a buzzbait on a flipping stick, but guys, if you've never tried it, try throwing a big buzzbait on your flipping stick. Same with your whopper ploppers. I throw my whopper ploppers on a flipping stick. The reason for that is these 3/4 ounce baits, you can throw them a lot easier with the flipping stick. And also, one of the things I like to do with the big buzzbait in the month of August sometimes is if I'm coming up to a piece of cover, like a laydown tree or a dock, I'll pitch it like I would a jig, like in the tight spots, and you can reel it through those tight spots and catch them, and it's a lot more efficient using a flipping stick with it. But the technique I really want to talk about here with the buzzbait involves covering tremendous amounts of water in the month of August on rocky or gravelly type banks. Now, you can catch them on isolated targets, just like what I talked about, but that is more situational. The pattern that exists in August, and the reason that the big buzzbait is such a player for me in the month of August, is you're looking for these isolated rogue fish that are up shallow. Now, we've talked about this a little bit more in the channel in the past, about how you have a percentage of the bass in the summertime that are predators. They're up there on that shallow water, and they're looking for whatever they can find. They're looking for a snake that's in the water, a bird that comes in the water, a frog that jumps in the water, any shad, minnows, perch, crawfish that live in that shallow water. If you guys have any lake across the country, guys, that's not muddy, if you have a lake that's got like 2 foot of visibility, the next time you're at the lake, go back in a cove and just walk the bank and look how much stuff is in the water. You'll see minnows, you'll see perch, You'll see crawdads if you lift up rocks. There's a lot of food shallow. And this is what you're after with this big buzzbait, is you're after those rogue, individual, predatory, apex predators that are up shallow. So what I do with this, put the Jamaican boa buzzbait on my flipping stick, put that trolling motor on a pretty high speed, and I just burn the bank and cover water. You know, I'm fishing coves, I'm fishing creeks. I prefer some type of rocky bank that's a little bit flatter. And the best areas, if I could identify the perfect type of a deal for this works in, say for example, you got one of the major creek arms in the lake you fish. If you go back into that creek arm, and if you have a lake that has a lot of coves or little cuts or something within that creek arm, go about halfway to 2/3 of the way back in that little cove off the main creek and start fishing that buzzbait just on whatever's in there. It can be bare rock banks, it can be bare clay, it can be bare pea gravel, there could be grass or whatever. But those fish like to set up about halfway to all the way back in those coves, and taking this buzzbait and fishing it fast. You want to burn this thing almost. So you want to throw the thing out there and reel it pretty fast where it's just like bzzz, like that. And also do a stop and go. Go bzzz, bzzz, just reel 5 or 6 cranks like that, stop at 5 or 6 cranks, keep the thing moving fast. The big difference is if you try to fish a buzzbait in the summertime at a slow or a medium retrieve, you're probably not going to get a bite on it. But if you fish it fast and try to create that reaction strike, guys, those big ones will come out of nowhere and clobber it. And that's the whole thing about it. And that's why you want to use a big buzzer like this Megabass Jamaican boa, because this thing, it makes a lot of noise in the water. It is a lot of disturbance. So this thing is going through the water and it's putting off a tremendous amount of noise, and it's moving a lot of water, and it's moving fast through the water, and it will create a reaction strike from the bigger bass. You're not going to catch hardly any small ones on this. The ones you're going to catch on it are all going to be 3-pounders or bigger for the most part, but you're after that fish, that hyper aggressive fish that just is generated by the reaction strike of this large obnoxious lure moving fast through the water. So it's something that it takes a little bit of effort, because, you know, if you do this all day long, it's going to wear you out. And another thing about it is the best times for this is sort of like 10 o'clock to 3 o'clock in the afternoon when that sun's straight up. That seems like when those bigger ones get more aggressive. It's like the time when most people decide to put down a topwater. A lot of the older dudes out there, they'll be fishing their topwater early in the morning and say, oh, the sun's up, it's 10 o'clock, they're going to stop biting topwater because it slows down. But if you keep throwing it, there's going to be little windows throughout the middle of the day where those big ones get active and they will hammer it. And the best time for me, guys, it seems like I prefer like later into August, like from mid-August to mid-September is like the premium time for this. So anyway, guys, give it a try. Like I said, get you a couple of these Jamaican boas in my link in the description. Put it on your flipping stick, start burning the bank, and see what happens. Hope it helps out. We'll talk later.